The Las Vegas Raiders are not moving like a team guessing anymore, and that is the part nobody should ignore. Something changed inside this building. Brock Bowers already looked like the safest young star in silver and black, but now the news around him feels bigger than one contract, bigger than one season, bigger than one tight end getting paid. The Raiders have a new voice with Clint Kubak, a new front office push with John Spytek, a new quarterback plan with Fernando Mendoza, and a roster that suddenly feels like it is being built with a real target in mind. That target is not just survival, it is a new offensive identity. The twist is this: Brock Bowers might be the player who benefits from every single move. Kirk Cousins gives the quarterback room calm right now. Fernando Mendoza gives the Raiders the future. Ashton Jeanty brings force to the run game. Tyler Linderbaum gives the middle of the line more control. Max Crosby still sets the heartbeat for the whole team, while Quay Walker and Nakobe Dean add more bite to a defense that cannot afford to waste this offensive reset. Even Tom Brady being around the building changes the pressure, because when a franchise quarterback mind is watching the plan, every detail feels louder. But here is what makes this dangerous. The Raiders did not just add names, they added a path. For years, Brock Bowers had to be special through noise, pressure, and uneven football around him. Now the pieces are starting to point in one direction. A young quarterback needs a weapon he can trust. A smart coach needs a mismatch he can move around. A team trying to rise needs one player who can hold the offense together before everything fully clicks. And that is why the next part matters so much, because if Fernando Mendoza becomes what Las Vegas believes he can be, Brock Bowers may not just be his best target, he may become the reason this whole new era works. But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Raiders and all the NFL content. Let's aim for 250 likes on this video. The most important gift Fernando Mendoza can give Brock Bowers is not a perfect deep ball. It is trust. The Las Vegas Raiders picked Fernando Mendoza to lead something bigger than a normal quarterback change, but they do not have to force him into fire before he is ready. Kirk Cousins gives the room a steady hand. Aiden O'Connell keeps experience in the building. And Tom Brady brings a voice that understands what young passers must learn before the lights get loud. That is where Brock Bowers becomes a secret weapon. A young quarterback does not need every throw to be a highlight. He needs one target who wins fast, finds space, and turns a stressful down into a simple answer. Brock Bowers can do that from the slot, near the line, or moving across the formation before the snap. When Fernando Mendoza sees pressure, Bowers can settle the moment. When defenses hide coverage, Bowers can expose it without the offense needing panic. The debate around Fernando Mendoza will get loud. Some will want him on the field early. Others will trust Kirk Cousins to carry the first wave. But either way, the Raiders are setting up a bridge, not a blind jump. That matters because Brock Bowers is no longer just waiting for cleaner football. He may become the player who teaches this new offense where the easy yards live, and that leads straight into Clint Kubak, where the system begins turning comfort into real danger for defenses everywhere. Now the real pressure shifts to Clint Kubak because talent alone does not scare defenses. Design does. Brock Bowers already has the hands, movement, and toughness to win anywhere. But the Raiders finally have a coach who can make defenses reveal their plan before the ball is even snapped. That is the part that changes the story. Bowers does not have to stand in one spot and wait. He can move, hide, shift, and attack weak space. Clint Kubak comes from a football world built around timing, movement, and the run game, forcing defenders to think too much. His father, Gary Kubiak, helped shape that belief. Kyle Shanahan, Norv Turner, Cliff Kingsbury, and other stops added more layers to it. This is not about making football cute. It is about making simple plays look the same until the defense guesses wrong. If Ashton Jeanty makes linebackers step forward, Brock Bowers can slip behind them. If safeties cheat down, the Raiders can punish the space they leave. That is why this fit feels bigger than a normal coaching change. Brock Bowers can line up tight, slide into the slot, motion across the formation, or become the quick answer when protection gets messy. Kirk Cousins can use that right away. Fernando Mendoza can grow with it later. And once this offense starts forcing defenses to choose between the run game and Bowers, the next question becomes brutal. Who stretches the field when everyone crashes inside? That answer may be the hidden twist. The name almost everyone keeps skipping is Malik Benson, and that could become a huge mistake. Big stars always pull attention, but winning teams often rise because one unexpected player changes how defenses must react. Malik Benson enters this season without the pressure carried by Brock Bowers or Fernando Mendoza, yet that freedom might become his biggest advantage. He does not have to prove he belongs by talking. He only has to keep creating separation when the ball leaves the quarterback's hand. Sometimes, the quietest addition becomes the hardest player to ignore once real games begin. What makes this battle interesting is the competition around him. Tree Tucker wants another step forward. Jalen Naylor arrived with experience and confidence. Jack Besh continues developing into a dependable target. Dante Thornton Jr. brings size and speed that every offense values. Nobody receives a starting job because of draft position alone. Every practice matters. Every route matters. Every catch changes another coach's opinion. If Malik Benson keeps stacking good days together, he forces difficult decisions that could reshape the entire receiver rotation before the regular season even settles. The biggest reward is not simply another productive receiver. The reward is balance. Defenses cannot crowd Brock Bowers if another target keeps stretching the field with confidence. That creates cleaner throwing windows without asking the offense to force impossible passes. Suddenly, every snap carries another question for opposing coordinators. Cover the middle or protect the deep ball. Stop Brock Bowers or respect Malik Benson. That impossible choice leads directly into the next story, because one bold rumor could change everything again. The Jalen Carter rumor feels wild at first, but that is exactly why it belongs in this Raiders story. Las Vegas does not need noise for attention. It needs clues about how serious this front office could become when the roster is ready. Jalen Carter is not a small name. He is the kind of interior force who can change blocking plans before the ball is snapped. If a player like that ever becomes available, every smart team at least studies the door. For the Raiders, the reason is clear. Max Crosby already brings edge pressure that opponents must respect. If the middle starts collapsing too, quarterbacks lose the escape lane that usually saves a play. That is why the situation around Christian Wilkins matters, because the defensive tackle room still needs a firm answer. John Spytek also has ties to Philadelphia, and Howie Roseman is never afraid to discuss bold football business. That does not mean a deal happens. It means the connection is real enough to watch. The tricky part is the cost. Jalen Carter would bring star power, but star power always asks for money, picks, and timing. The Raiders cannot build around Brock Bowers and Fernando Mendoza by chasing every shiny move too early. They need patience, but not fear. If the defense gets one more monster beside Max Crosby, the whole team changes shape. Still, the next offensive rumor may be even louder, because Justin Jefferson would make the Raiders' dream feel completely different now. The Justin Jefferson idea sounds impossible until the Raiders' timeline starts making sense. Las Vegas may not be ready to throw everything at a superstar today, but future windows arrive fast in the NFL. If Fernando Mendoza grows into the passer this franchise expects, and Brock Bowers becomes the engine of the offense, then a true number one receiver becomes more than a dream. It becomes the final strike that turns a young attack into something feared. That is why the Davante Adams memory matters, but only as history. That move came from another regime, another plan, another kind of pressure. John Spytek has shown more patience, and patience can be powerful when it protects the future. The smarter question is not whether Justin Jefferson is special. Everyone knows he is. The question is whether the Raiders should spend major picks and massive money before Fernando Mendoza, Ashton Genty, and Brock Bowers fully open their window together. Minnesota controls its own story with J.J. McCarthy, Kevin O'Connell, and the direction of that roster. If things ever shift, every contender will watch. The Raiders would have to decide if the price is worth changing their build. A Jay Brown showed how one receiver trade can lift an offense, but timing must be right. For now, Kirk Cousins can steady the bridge, Brock Bowers can carry the middle, and Las Vegas can wait for the moment when one bold move actually makes sense, because the contract clock is already ticking fast. The Kyle Pitts deal did not close the tight end market. It opened the next door. Atlanta gave Kyle Pitts 3 years, $54 million, and suddenly every team with a young star at that position had to look at the number again. For the Raiders, that was not bad news. That was a warning light, because Brock Bowers is not chasing the market anymore. He is becoming the player who can move it. Here's the difference. Kyle Pitts is a gifted weapon, and Atlanta clearly values what he brings. But Brock Bowers has already shown a rare kind of control over games. He does not need one perfect role. He can win from different spots, help the quarterback breathe, punish soft coverage, and turn short throws into chain-moving damage. That is why names like George Kittle, Travis Kelce, Trey McBride, Sam Laporta, Dalton Kincaid, and Tucker Kraft matter. They show how loaded the position has become. But the Raiders have to see the bigger picture before someone else sets a crazier price. If Brock Bowers keeps climbing inside Clint Kubak's system, the number will not stay comfortable for long. Waiting may sound safe, but safe can become expensive fast. John Spytek has to decide if early faith saves future pain, and that is why the final question is no longer whether Bowers gets paid. The real question is how soon Las Vegas dares to strike. The Raiders cannot treat Brock Bowers like a normal young weapon, because normal players do not bend the future this fast. If Las Vegas waits too long, the price will not stay patient. Every big tight end deal, every breakout season, every new receiver contract around the league pushes his value higher. That is why the smartest move may be the boldest one. Pay the cornerstone before the rest of football forces your hand. This is where the whole plan comes together. Fernando Mendoza gives the franchise a long-range quarterback path. Kirk Cousins keeps the room steady while that path develops. Clint Kubak gives the offense movement and answers. Ashton Genty can make defenses respect the run. Malik Benson can stretch space. Max Crosby keeps the team edge alive on defense. All of it points back to one truth. Brock Bowers is the cleanest piece to build around. So the great news is not only that Kyle Pitts raised the market. The great news is that the Raiders now have a reason to act before the market gets even heavier. If John Spytek believes this core is real, he cannot wait for another team to reset the number first. Lock in Brock Bowers, protect the Fernando Mendoza window, and let the league chase later. Because if Las Vegas gets this decision right, this is not just a contract story. It is the first real signal of a Raiders era with teeth.